The quickening is taking place. The power of God is striking. It will be striking. If it hasn't struck you yet, it will. And to prepare for that strike of divine lightning, and to encourage it, actually, it should be a welcome, energetic transformation. But insofar as you have been prepared for it and been preparing for it, to encourage it, in fact, be ready for its effect upon your world paradigm, your existence as you know it. Because this shift in energy is powerful in that it will change your world. And if the openness of your heart, if your heart chakra is activated, you're living through your heart, from those energies, to receive that amount of energy without being killed by it. I'm talking about literally killed, as well as being shattered in a psychological sense. At the very least, if you're not able to handle this energetic invitation to the higher realms, if not, the wheat has been separated from the chaff. Namaste, namaskaram. But literally being killed by this amount of energy, and at the very least, being psychologically shattered by it. Because we're coming to the end of this divine drama. The final scenes of this drama are about to be played out. And in the final scenes of every classical drama, of course, there is what is known, was established so long ago, even in Greek drama, Socrates, Aristotle, the deus ex machina, or God out of the machine of the body of those who have dedicated themselves to become channels of God, of the supreme intelligence, of Source. That power will strike with an infinite intensity and suddenness. But it will be a suddenness that comes after much gradual preparation, as is the pattern of everything. But as you see society collapsing, very gradually at first, but then there will be a sudden and total crumbling. One day, without any notice, a total collapse. The dollar will be worthless, and there will be war. A surprise attack without notice. America, get ready if you're not. Food shortages, a famine that will not have been prepared for by most, because the media will not have, the lamestream media will not have given warnings. It's been continual disinformation, business as usual. Turn on your Netflix, turn on your Beyonce, drink your Folgers coffee, instant and adequately heated. Yeah. Disinformation. This is not disinformation. This is real talk. This is real information. Real knowledge, gnosis, that everything is moving away and gradually towards the end. But then there will be a sudden shift in which the world changes in a moment, from a sustainable ecosystem to a radioactive ruin, to a radioactive devastation, a desert of desolation. But at that same moment, and in the days prior, the end of days leading up to that moment, the divine presence with the capability of redreaming the dream, the golden age of the Satyuga, bringing a new heavenly paradise into being, will accompany or what the Sufis used to talk about as the garden and the flames being simultaneously present. And so, dear viewer, dear esteemed and noble viewer, we must be in the Edenic consciousness, and our lower aspect connected to our higher ascendant metahuman aspect of bringing heaven to earth, the Garden of Eden, which represents. But we must be in that consciousness and hold those higher light quotients, and not be touched by the flames, because we ourselves have become the fire through this divine strike of God, the Kundalini activation, activating your tree of life, the eternal life from within, from which the gardens, the fruits of the gardens, the new heaven can flower. And so the more of us, all of the beings in the world who choose to let go of egoic obsession, who have risen above the ego illusion, who are not enmeshed in the separation energies of the ego, that those beings in this world who have chosen to forego that path of ego obsession and let it go, false identification, and return to our true nature, our true God mind, to exist within the higher realms, to go through that portal and engage those higher energies and return to our true nature. The more of us who will be struck by that lightning of God's presence and the ultimate manifestation of all the prophecies of the world. I'm talking about all of these religious traditions, the Hopi prophecies, all prophecies of the world. The spiritual traditions will be fulfilled. These days are here. This power of God is striking. This drama is at an end. But the traditions will be fulfilled, as has been foretold. However, fulfilled in ways that are uncanny, that could not have been predicted by those within a conventional frame of organized religion, the control structures, the organized religion control matrix, by those within a conventional frame of organized religion referenced in their scriptures, because none of those words, none of those understandings are of God. They are of man's mind, man's ego mind, to control God's vastly manifest intelligence. But the intelligence of God, the intelligence of Source, the power of Source, the energies of Source are manifesting fully, will manifest in what is being implied and pointed to by those words and those scriptures that have endured through time and have become the human heritage to prepare us all for the culmination of this divine drama and to achieve the heroic role of one who is not only liberated into the nirvanic beauty and bliss that is untouched by suffering, but with the power of transmuting that divine energy of deathlessness and of peace and healing to all beings who may still be trapped within the illusion, contained within the darkness of the ego, the shadow of the ego's illusion. Those who are still trapped, still trolling YouTube, leaving little, in their minds, intended to be hurtful comments. But you see, that's only hurtful to the ego. And if you are in the ego, if you are obsessed with the ego, and that's your world, that world is crumbling. That world is about to be rendered asunder from the divine lightning of God. The presence of light within and without, the transformation will be sudden. And those who have been divinized, those who have been transformed from their lower ego nature and dwell within their higher ascendant metahuman consciousness, those who have been divinized in that fashion will spread the divine coherent vibrational frequency throughout the morphogenetic field of the planet, The law of one unity consciousness, the morphogenetic field of the planet, will be divinized with the higher light quotient energies. It will have a profound effect and bring about universal salvation. And no soul will be left behind, whether they are still embodied or they have become disembodied as a result of events that have occurred under the last 3 years with this transition. But all will be returned to that supreme abode and protected by the presence of God from any suffering. And all the hell realms will be emptied. And all will be again in the unified oceanic field of the blissful light of God, of Source, until the new world manifests, the new earth manifests for those who have prepared to sustain it. For those who have been prepared to call forth, to invoke the Vajra, the essence of the divine lightning, and to be able to run it through the system as a current of energy that can be applied to the service of God without having any kind of shattering effect upon your ego. If you have not prepared for it psychologically, you will be transmuted. Not just the body, but the entire energy field. And it will create echoes and vibrational waves throughout the morphogenetic field. And will have divine consequences that will be astonishing when they appear, and will be filled with the miraculous and surprising nature of the final unfoldment as the play comes to its final end, so that the great playwright, the great divine grid programmer, the great source of all that is, the prime creator, is about to show that final scene in which God lets out all the stops, all of the latent powers that have been forgotten and that had atrophied within us are suddenly brought to the fullness of life again. And we not only realize who we are as divine sons and daughters of God, but that realization becomes actualized as divination, and the whole world is perceived by those who have been struck by that lightning of divine knowledge, of divine presence of God. God as all. There is nothing other than that. All of this will be seen by the eye of non-duality. There is no good and evil, right or wrong. Its true nature is all in the mind of God. Our consciousness is that aspect of God within us, fractals of God, not the illusion of this world, not the illusion of the ego, not the illusion of time and space. Differences between us, multiplicity, will all disappear. The real will be fully manifest. The real presence of God, the essence of this entire existence, will be revealed. So you may be hit by that lightning which opens the third eye, and become one who is able to see. And through that eye, let thine eye be single. Let thine eye be full of light, the eye that powers of divine sight, manifest the projection of the creative intelligence of God that brings a new earth into being, the new earth of the golden age timeline. And that's real talk. Namaste. Namaskaram.